Okay. One of them blinks out of your perception.
Okay.
Just isn't there.
I think that's my cue to leave as well.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So let's see. Initiative to see
What
who
is
gets to go.
are the percentages in the book from 1 to 100 or from 0 to 99?
They're from 1 to 100.
Then I've been counting the die rolls incorrectly.
Okay, so they will get. Okay, so here are the various attempts to seize you.
Yeah.
And they are very poor. Except for that one. One guy gets your ankle.
Yep.
And God, I keep pulling 44. I really should have marked that page. Fortunately, these are 44. So your saving throws. Can I see?
Yeah, you can read it.
Yeah, I just want to see what they are. Spells 15. Oh, it's one of your better ones. Magic wands modified to 11.
Okay.
Because of your cloak.
Yeah.
So 11 or higher.
Yeah.
A D20. Yeah.
20. It's a good one.
The lightning bolt.
Yeah.
The lightning bolt.
Okay.
It fries, a civic monument of some kind. Absolutely fries a fence or something.
No.
And not you. Right? But you are being grabbed by the guy. And so actually, so I think we do have to resolve one more.
Yeah.
Right. To deal. And that guy you will not be able to assassinate.
No.
So, but you get the first shot at him. So if you just hit him, we'll see how it goes.
Or I could just use a command spell and tell him to release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do.
That's cleric.
Let go.
That's basically.
Release. He does.
Yeah.
And you walk out of the darkness. Right.
Poise.
But I think you have found the site of the chaos.
Yeah. Yep. I'll head back to the temple.
Okay.
Local temple.
And do you? Oh, jeez, I'm really sorry.
I'm
so much
fine.
going on. Okay.
I
need to go to Milo. Okay, so Milo, you guys are trotted out. You and a bunch of other fighters who are have various armor. You're what are called irregulars, but for this purpose, you have to wear a cloth over your armor that has the emblem of the Bloodhawks on it. And you go to the edge of the city by the seashore in a rocky outcropping of the city, where there are these old buildings that have been partly overrun by the ocean. So all of this, you see this? All of this is seawater, and then there's the water is coming up from underneath and flooding over everything. So these buildings are not being used by anybody, and they're looking pretty junky. And the whole area, is there's blowing wind and salt spray and everything. This is a great big salty, moist air from the ocean and the waves. And so you have this pyramidal structure and a couple of old kind of fort-looking structures. You've never been here.
No, we have.
You have.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that. And so,
lovely locals.
Right. And as it has, and what has been set up here is a battle line of you guys come in on this side, and this is a huge, what's basically ruined structure of some kind that is now just so irregular that you can't even tell what it is. But this is the area where you are somewhat sheltered and operating from, because here is a force that the Bloodhawks have been contracted to take out.
Mm.
So you are going to find yourself in a battle maneuver. We don't have rules for conducting the battle as such, but
Battle maneuver.
yes, you have a job. You and a bunch of people are there. Do you want to be in the archery section, in the spear section, or the horses are no good next to the seashore like this. The wet surface and everything is no good for them. And the hope is to try to draw them out and to have a battle here, because this is too impregnable. You can already see that there's a whole bunch of people who have been killed here. There's gulls and other sea creatures have feasted upon them, and that there's been an attempt to assault this structure that has failed. So they've called in the Bloodhawks too.
Well, I was going to ask about this before, but I assume it's not the right time now. Inventory. Did I start with 2 weapons?
In terms of what you know how to use, 4.
Yeah, but
4 kinds.
as in what I have.
Well, you will be supplied with something by the Bloodhawks, if you want. But these are very much standard weapons, so there won't be any 2-handed swords. There won't be any exotic weapons. Very much straightforward. Military type stuff.
I'll just use my longsword then.
Okay, excellent. All right, so you are going to be in the group that once the 2 forces have clashed, you and your group, about 6 people,
going to flank.
Right, you're going to come in on the flank, and you are going to be looking for the leaders. You are going to be taking out the people who are commanding the squad that is currently in the fight. So that's what you would, and especially because you're a 2nd level fighter, this is actually pretty skilled. So therefore, you're not being thrown into the basic confrontational melee. The idea is for that to break up whatever formation they have, and then you and your squad will come in. It would be basically a cavalry maneuver if you had horses, but you don't.
Yeah.
So, the beings that come from the beings that come down these steps are a group of humanoids with fanged faces. They have sickly white skin and gills on the necks and the side of their faces. They are wearing really kind of almost over the top leather and dramatic color. I mean, they seem very formal. There's one guy who's got, a gold emblem on his shoulder and on his helmet. And there are a couple of others who are equally official looking, very well dressed, snappy uniform type looking guys. But again, they've got webs between their fingers, and and every so often, one of them will take a little bottle and swig from it. They, salt water. And then around the corner here, emerging from the water, wriggle out enormous eels, 6 or 7 meters long, with very fishy looking people, much fishier than these guys. Like deep ones fishy looking. And they are, a bunch of them emerge on their eels, which wriggle across the land like snakes, and they are readying their lances for their engagement. A small squad of spearmen is coming down here off the top of off the bottom of the steps, and those prouder looking fellows, they're just standing there on the steps with their arms crossed, just watching and directing things. In fact, it was one, he actually had, the main one had indicated to someone on the steps to toot some horns. They tooted horns, and that's when those guys came out.
Are these enemies Lovecraft inspired?
The ones on your right coming out of the water there look like this.
Trying to find the weakness.
These guys.
No, I was just curious if they were Lovecraft inspired or not.
Well, they're fishy, whatever they are. So there you go. The other ones are much more humanoid, but they are also clearly aquatic or semi-aquatic.
Yeah,
There are various armor. These guys are not particularly armored. The ones on the eels, they might have like straps and stuff. But the ones coming down the steps, they're much more clothed like people, in a sorry to say, but kind of Nazi fantasy outfits, but with very nautical, like, fins and other sort of sea creature shells sort of symbolism. These fellows, therefore, are the ones who are coming to confrontation with the group of spearmen of the Bloodhawks. And in among them, there we go. There we are. There's clearly one who is operating as the commander of this force of dudes with eels. And so there are about 4 of these guys with eels and about 6 of them on foot who are trotting up. And they are the ones with the eels have lances, and the ones with that are trotting up, there are about 5 of those, and they have crossbows. They're on foot. You can't shoot a crossbow from an eel. So therefore, they shoot their crossbows into the spearmen at the same time that the archers that you guys have in the back, arch into them, and carnage occurs as the 2 groups clash into one another. As your group coming around this side is coming around that side is going to be entering the melee. Unless you wanted to alter that.
No, but can I like prepare to cast a blood spell and
Absolutely.
cast it one?
Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Yes, you may. And that will increase the morale of your little squad, and everybody will get +1 to hit. So that's a good idea. So yeah, this is a bit of a surprise. The team of you come around here, glowing with motivation and a sense of shared purpose, and armed with hand-to-hand weapons like long swords and battle axes, basically. And so some of you with shields. Do you have a shield? You can have a shield.
It doesn't say that I
They
have
will.
a shield.
They will supply you with a crap shield, but it will do the job for this battle. Yeah. It's not a permanent possession, but you have it with you now. So that will drop your armor class down to 4. Howard, what about you? You can keep working with the house renovation. You can go and take a look into the start thinking about
My
investigating over here.
Yeah.
Or you could go and find 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 Neil Mivig and see if you could, that's
I don't want to.
yeah. That does not look fun in any way.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. It's better to talk with my neighbors.
Oh, which neighbors do you want to talk with?
Oh,
I see.
They're still my neighbors.
Neighbors.
Yeah. How's the baboons?
All right, baboons from there. Right, I'll grab a couple of candles.
I see. Okay. It's 1 candle.
Not my special candle.
Not your special candle.
Just
Okay.
every church needs a candle.
That's
So,
bringing a gift.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So you can head to that door, and it's closed up. It's actually a fairly narrow, tall door with a few steps going up into it. But it isn't very inviting looking. You can see that there's a very unusual magical or mystic symbol that has been built into the stone above the door. So that's old and required workmanship from a long time ago. So this has been this way for a long time, whatever it is, and whatever that means. You, I am sad to say, are not a dumb character. Oh, intelligence 13? That actually might be worth a little information. You're like, I recognize that. That is actually the symbol of in your education, like a notoriously ancient and kind of bad reputation noble family. With religious implications. Think of it like the Borgias in Italy, right? Something like that. I mean, it's in legend as a bunch of notoriously corrupt religious leaders.
Okay. Well, I knock on the door. Is there anyone inside?
Somebody knocks back from the inside. Bam, 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 bam. A lot louder than you did, which is a little weird.
I'll try another, more louder than him.
Okay.
Wait.
There's let's see here. Let me think about. I need my math. Always a good sign when I pull out a map, right? Yes. Okay. So you are there. There. Okay. Yeah. Why not? Okay. So here. There's a whole bunch of rustling movement and then silence.
Okay, I guess they don't want to see me. I leave my candles and go for my own business.
Okay.
I'll return next day to see if the candles, they took the candles or not.
Yes, although some of them were dropped. And it looks as though somebody tried to eat them.
Them baboons.
Yeah, there are fang marks in the few candles that are pieces of candle that are left.
Okay. I'll leave them alone.
Ah, okay.
Neighbors.
But from that point on, and you had noticed in the previous night, and especially the night after that, the little eyeballs, little red eyeballs in the night are peering over the fence and glaring and lurking.
Next time I'll leave something edible.
Hork is such a nice guy.
He's
He's the
the
nicest fellow ever. I won't slaughter you. I know I cut one of you in half last time. I know, but
We're neighbors now,
Oh, yeah.
so.
Okay, so all right, Milo. Let's. I think it's just before 9 o'clock, so we'll cut out at this point. Kind of set up everybody in their various circumstances.
Yes.
So I figured we would get about that far tonight. With,
Interesting circumstances.